Alright, we got another reviews. Looks like I can put the pile into 2 reviews. So this should be this last one for this round. But we're starting out with The Last Zombie by Brian Keene and AP Entertainment. This is The Last Zombie Neverland. It's been 2 years since civilization collapsed in the wake of a zombie plague. Dr. Ian Scott spent that time in a FEMA bunker deep beneath the Colorado mountains, working on a vaccine for the virus. He maintained regular contact with his fiancée, Jen, who was stationed at a similar government bunker in West Virginia. When communication with that facility was mysteriously lost, Ian joined a group of soldiers and scientists led by Sergeant Warner on a cross-country mission to determine not only the bunker's fate, but the fate of the nation as well. They soon learned that even though the zombies were gone, the world was still a dangerous place. Early in their journey, the team defended a leper colony from a band of marauders and suffered several casualties as a result. They were also responsible for many accidental civilian deaths. Demoralized and exhausted, they found themselves questioning their mission, their faith, and one another. Discipline broke down. Worse, unbeknownst to the others, Ian was accidentally exposed to the virus that caused the original zombie outbreak. He injected himself with the vaccine, hoping to delay the inevitable long enough to be reunited with Jen, and struggled to keep his secret hidden from his teammates. In Kansas, the team's mission was jeopardized when they encountered hundreds of refugees fleeing a statewide wildfire. Unable to go east because of the inferno, they learned that their routes to the north and the south were blocked as well. Detouring north would involve traveling through radioactive wastelands caused by a nuclear reactor meltdown. Traveling to the south would find them outmanned and outgunned by a vast army founded by former Mexican drug cartels. As the wildfire raced closer and the refugees rioted, the team fled directly into the inferno and emerged somewhere between Missouri and Iowa. This story takes them to Neverland Ranch. They end up coming across a farm that just so happens to be controlled and run by a bunch of kids, and the one kid's like hoping for Santa Claus to come to bring them parents, not presents, parents. But this story was a great taste of this run, this whole event. I'm guessing there's short runs before the Neverland run that I missed out on that I'm going to have to find eventually, which I really want to read. I want to know what happened in the beginning, and they basically told us there, but I'd like to get a little deeper into it and see more of what happened prior to all this. This story focuses on them stuck at hanging. Well, they're basically trying to repair their vehicles and get themselves back on the road. And while they do, they hang out with these kids at this ranch and help them out. Things happen. Lots of stuff happens. They have to go and try and find parts and supplies. More things happen. It's just a well done, interesting short run of 5 comics to give me a teaser into this last zombie series. And I loved it. Yeah, didn't need to read anything before this to kind of get you all caught up. So you're right there where you need to be for this set. And I like this story. I mean, granted, they have some problems and some things going on, but it's not a bunch of people pissing and moaning, arguing with each other constantly, fighting and feuding and causing a bunch of shit, which is nice, but yet possibly the story before this. They might have, but I think the way they're all acting mentally and working together, I think that even the story before this, they had some civilization and weren't a bunch of jackasses. I'm glad we aren't seeing the cartel side as much, but yeah, I mean, I'm granted, I'm guaranteed there are parts of these stories will be in some of the other stories too, I'm sure in the future, but I picked up that one. I found a set for a really good deal at, I believe, a half price bookstore, and they had this set too, which is the one that's right after that run, and this is The Last Zombie before the after. And in here they get a little further along and they basically get trapped in a snowstorm and have to bunker down for a bit. They bunker down in a high class hotel, kind of expecting to see a bunch of problems because it is a uh, big building with a lot of luxuries inside. You would think it would definitely be picked through and people would be there, but you're gonna have to read the story to find out. But yeah, our crew has to suffer through a snowstorm, and it's another 5-issue run. Well done. Our one scientist is having a little bit more issues with his little zombification outbreak and what he's dealing with the virus and with his viral counterpart to try and help with the virus. And there's people that are getting a little more worried about our character and what's going on with them, and we get deeper histories on a lot of our characters in this set, uh, deeper into the storylines and stuff. Well done. I want to know whatever's after this and whatever was before it. I definitely am going to search for and pick up in the future. But yeah, The Last Zombie, pretty fun. All right, we got The Nasty, #1 from Vault Comics. Scotland, 1994. 18-year-old Thumper Connell still has an imaginary friend, the masked killer from his favorite slasher film. Thumper is obsessed with horror and always has been. He fills his time with scary VHS rentals and hanging out with his fellow fans, the Murder Club. But everything changes when his local video shop acquires one of the notorious films known as Video Nasties. Films so scary they're the target of the British Moral Decency League's crusade to ban and burn. But it's only a movie, right? All just imaginary, isn't it? Yeah, our character just so happens to have a serial killer for a friend. That's his imaginary friend that hangs out with him, just constantly around him, and he's always obsessed with horror. And our characters are friends with a video store clerk who's struggling to keep things going as times change, and they're going to put on an event with a very rare, hard to find horror video that they found, and it so happens to have some nastiness connected to it. So you're going to have to read the story to find out. This is only issue 1. I'm not sure how many issues there are. I'm definitely going to look into that one also and get deeper into it. But yeah, it was well done. Fun story of a kid with his imaginary serial killer buddy friend. You can just imagine where that character is going to go in the future. All right. We got New Talent Showcase, the Milestone Initiative, #1 from DC Comics. 12 short stories from across the Milestone universe. In 2022, DC, Milestone Media, and Ally teamed up to build the Milestone Initiative in order to empower the next generation of Black and diverse comic book creators to tell their story. When Denny's Cohen, Derek Dingle, and I sat down, we don't need to get into that. Basically, you got 12 stories in here by a huge array of character creators, artists, writers, colorists, inkers, pencils, and all kinds of different new talent to the comic universe. You got Third Wheel, Blood in the Water, Often Imitated, Ablution, Makings of You, Every World Fades, Patria Ye Vita, What's Left Behind, I Hate You Live, Something Sweet, Family Values, My Brother's Keeper. I don't know what to say. The artwork, and great artwork throughout. And the stories, I don't know how to say this. I was very disappointed in this, and it's going to look terrible on my part because I'm a white male. But there was not, out of all 12 stories, I honestly can't. I'm looking through this trying to find one that really grabbed me. But I didn't care for a single one of these characters. And looking back through this, I can't find one that jumps out at me by chance. But this was a real disappointment to me. I've been enjoying the new collaboration storylines that have been coming out, the books with the variety of different creators, artists, certain ethnicities or whatever that were doing them. And they've been out very enjoyable. This one, nobody grabbed me. I was really bummed. And it was a great price. I mean, you got a huge thick book for $3.99 retail, which is ridiculous. I mean, this is a $10 book anywhere else. But none of the characters really left anything for me to really pinpoint and look at and enjoy. I don't know. I was really bummed by this one. And it's a great price. So if you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. And there's a good variety of characters in here, but so many of the characters were just another version of characters we've seen and dealt with, and it's like, give us something new. Give us something that, and if we're gonna pump out this many new characters into our world of superheroes, and we're getting to the point where there's more supers than there are regulars, it seems like. And Christ, we have a rainstorm and everybody gets powers nowadays. But yeah, it's just getting beyond stupid in my opinion as far as putting out so many damn characters that you're not focusing on quality, we're focusing on quantity nowadays. It's like everybody's got to have every version of every character out there, which fine, whatever. I mean, Jesus, let's just put a suit on the person from birth and never see their skin color, never see who they are, or what ethnicity, what race, what if they're alien, whatever, just cover them up at birth, make them a freaking character, and make that character awesome. Instead, we gotta have 50 different characters doing the same character. Really? When you put out that many characters, you're only gonna get about 5% that are worth a shit. The rest are gonna be basically doppelgangers and all that. I don't know. It bummed me out. I was really hoping for it. I can't think of the name of the other ones that have been doing all the Asian creators, the Mexican creators, and all that. Those books, they're just wonderful. I mean, they've done great jobs with the characters that they've been playing with and stuff, but these ones, I don't know. I can't think of a single story in that whole book that grabbed me at all. So that's sad when that happens, but that's alright. That's what eBay's for. Alright, we got Pearl, number 1 and number 2. This is by Bendis, Gatos, Jinx World. The Pearl character, I jumped on the second volume. The first issue, I mentioned it a while back. This is from the creators of Jessica Jones. The artwork's interesting. I love how they play with the dull colors and then they pop things with certain points when something's happening. And everything just kind of flows perfectly. It makes sense that she's a tattooist and that this is a tattoo-based storyline, and it's just because the colors have that ability to grab you at the right points, and it's very well done as far as the way they laid this out. I checked the second volume just to get a teaser of it. I heard someone else really liked it, and I wanted to know more about the character, and I'm very glad I did. I gotta finish this one off. I gotta get the rest of them, but just learning about her history, with the whole tattooing background, the silent assassin, all that aspects of this Pearl character. She's very interesting, and it's kind of like a female Punisher without the assholeness. But yeah, I'm looking forward to where that storyline goes. I definitely want more. I'm going to have to finish off this first volume so I can jump back into the second volume. But this Pearl character is a lot of fun. Alright. We got Razor's Edge, Anthology number 1. Morbid Angel and Razor. Dave Kopecki, Andrew Mangum, Dave Kemp, McLean McGear, Andrew Mangum, and Dave Kemp. I haven't checked out these characters in a while, so this is a nice update to them. Yeah, black and white, wonderful artwork, and just getting our teasers back into the different characters with the Razor character, Morbid Angel. We got a Lethal Strike storyline. It just gets us up to date on all our different London Night studios and Amory Dark. And London Night did Razor's Edge back in the day. Amory Dark is a new company, I believe, that they joined up with. We got Poison in here. She has a nice storyline dealing with demons, fighting through all the issues. But yeah, you got Morbid Angel and Razor in this first storyline. Story 2 is Lethal Strike, and story 3 has Poison in it. But yeah, this is a nice little jump on point for anybody that hasn't read anything in the past. Get you caught up on the characters and get you intrigued if you want more in the near future. Because I'm assuming they're going to be putting out a variety of things in the near future for all these characters. So you'll just have to see what happens. I don't think I'll be reading on with a Razor character, but the Poison one, I definitely want to get deeper into. Lethal Strike's okay, Morbid Angel's okay, but yeah, we'll see. See what the stories are based on, and we'll go from there. All right, we got R.I.P.D. City of the Damned, number 1 to 4 of 4. This was a lot of fun. I gotta rewatch the movie, the old school movie with, I think it's Ryan Reynolds and was it the dude that's in there? I can't remember who's the 2 stars, but this I can't remember what the movie storyline was. If this rides into it or if this is pre movie, but this is a wonderful story. Getting to learn a lot about our come on, give me a good picture here. Every time I want a picture, I can never find a good picture. Our older character of the 2, you got your old guy and your young guy, and we're learning more. He gets sucked into a different realm, has to deal with things, learns about the history's past, gets into the R.I.P.D. world, learns about it, and basically gets his start through this. And this gives you that storyline that you're going to want before you watch the movie or after. And it's a nice little palate cleanser to get you caught up on everything. I will definitely read anything I can come across at the R.I.P.D. Rest in Peace Department. R.I.P.D. storyline. I loved. I had high hopes for the movie. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It had its fun moments. I just don't remember the whole storyline basis on it, so I definitely want to rewatch it. But yeah, it was fun. Speaking of fun, I love this cartoon. I seen this comic in a bargain bin. I had to grab it. I hope there's more out there because I love Billy and Mandy and Grim. But we got Super Secret Crisis War: The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. On Cartoon Network and IDW. It's a one-shot. It is so much fun. The evil Aku and his league of extraordinary villains snatch up heroes from many worlds, using their robot minions as traps. But when some robot minions mess up a control console, they are warped away to different worlds. Got Kate Leth, Troy Little, Sarah Gatos, Carlos Guzman, and many more. But yeah, our characters are dealing with these robots and trying to get Grim to help them and deal with these entities. And Billy friends one of the robots. If you know anything about the TV series, when Billy's got his mind set on something, Billy's gonna have fun with it. And it's so enjoyable just watching what Billy does to the robot, how he torments these characters, as he usually torments Grimm, and Mandy torments everybody. It's just, yeah. If you like that world of Billy and Mandy, you'll love this comic and anything that they put out. It's just so enjoyable. It's, Billy just cracks me up. All right. We talked about these multiple times already, but I got my next two covers. I got Svengoolie, Lost in Time, Whence Comes the Svenbot, issue number 1. Got these two covers in the mail finally. So now I got like 3 or 4 different covers. But this is a great story done by Svengoolie that flows in the B-movie atmosphere, the B-movie horror atmosphere. We're dealing with a Svenbot that's traveling through time, causing a bunch of issues, trying to... And it's basically set up through this character, our mad scientist that wants to be a TV host and take over Sven's spot, and he's doing a bunch of stuff to cause him problems along the way and try and change the present by going into the past. And we jump around with a variety of different artists through here, and the way the storyline goes, and it jumps from the different art styles and back and forth. This is done wonderfully. I'm looking forward to more. I hope Sven does at least 5 of these. We also get lots of history in here from Svengoolie. We get teasers on most of the characters that we know from the Svengoolie universe are in or throughout this book. Any that we haven't come across yet, I'm sure we'll come across in the next issue or two. But I really hope that we get to see this go for... I'd love to see 12 issues of this come out, but I hope they at least do 3 to 5. We'll see. Not sure what the overall plan is yet, but I'm really hoping that we get more from it. And Svengoolie wrote the storyline. Oh, Rich Kaz is his real name. Chris Faulkner and Jim Roche assisted him. Script assist by Franco Aureliani. Art work is done by Christopher Jones. Colors by Hi-Fi. Art and colors by Art Baltazar. And art and colors by Jill Thompson. And then we get a Nostalgia Ferrato story in the back, which is script by Bill Leff, art and colors by Bill Morrison, lettering by Carlos Manguel. And it's just, yeah. If you like Svengoolie, or you like B-horror stories, you like the old horror host with the old horror movies and stuff, you'll love that. Check that out. Next up, we have the final issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Usagi Yojimbo, Wherewhen. Number 5 by IDW. Entertainment, Stan Sakai, Nicholas Nino, Scott Dunbier. This is a great finish to the whole storyline. I can't really go in depth, but our characters, just from looking at the cover, are dealing with a ton of robot characters back in the Usagi Yojimbo era. So these characters are like, what are these things? And they don't know what robots are yet. They're way back in the 1800s, and way behind times, and they're getting all these teasers of future technology, and then what's going to happen with what's left in their world after they deal with this. It's interesting. I hope they do a follow-up story to this, to what does happen with things from the present that are put into the past and all that stuff, because that's the only way to make a time travel storyline interesting in my mind. You gotta play those things out, but I have a feeling this will pop up again in the near future. Stan Sakai, if you want to check out a wonderful podcast, check out the Comic Counseling Couples podcast. The Stan Sakai episode recently, they got to talk to Stan and his wife and at San Diego Comic Con, and Stan mentioned that next year is the 40th anniversary of Usagi Yojimbo and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really hope we get some wonderful things that come out next year because of that. So keep our fingers crossed and see what happens. We got the unbelievable, unfortunately, mostly unreadable, and nearly unpublishable Untold Tales of I Hate Fairyland #1. Gertrude is going beyond bizarre in these storylines. Let's see if they have a synopsis for us. Nope. They're not going to give us a basis until the second issue. But this one focuses on Brood the Brutal. We got a barbarian character that crosses paths with Gert, and you can imagine what happens. Gert falls for him, but then she has to deal with them, and it's just, as usual, Gert caused trouble along the way, and it's a lot of fun. And then we got Don't Trust the Pig in Apartment 23, which has a whole different style to it. Another twist on the fables. We got Three Little Pigs fable and Gertrude doing her thing. It's hard to really give away anything because it's just going to give away the story. And if you know anything about I Hate Fairyland, you'll know what the story is and be able to figure it out. Alright, you got Void Rivals #2. This is by Robert Kirkman, Lorenzo Di Felici, Matthias Lopez. And we got our two characters that are stuck on a planet together, trying to find a way off it, while yet hating each other's societies and races and wanting to kill each other, but yet realizing they're kind of similar. And you see the factions and what's going on, and we get history into how these two entities became enemies and what's up with their whole world environments and stuff. Interesting story. I don't know if I'm really interested enough to keep going with it, but I think it's only a 4-issue run. But I really have this feeling what they've been doing with a lot of things that I've been happy to jump on because they were only 4 to 5 issues. So many of them are getting pushed to 6, 7, 8 issues, and that just irritates me because they have their story laid out the way they want, and then when they get those extra couple issues, they're just throwing filler in there, and the filler a lot of times is just filler. So I don't know if we really need to expand these beyond what you promise us. Just give us what you tell us so we know ahead of time, because I would have never jumped on this one if I would have known it was good, if I thought it was going to be 6 or more issues. A good example is Kevin Smith's and Andrew McCaffrey's latest run, that one got a couple extra issues thrown in, and it's like all those are complete filler. You can tell that the last issue was something that was none of it was any part of the storyline, and they just threw it in there for filler, and that just taking more money out of my pocket that could go towards other comics, and yeah, I'd rather just have the original complete story that they planned, because they're going to have it edited the way they want, and it's going to make more sense the way the layout is, usually. Some it does help with, but V-Wars, IDW, limited edition, number 0. This is Jonathan Mayberry, Alan Robinson, Jay Photos, Robin Robbins, and David Hedgecock from IDW. Personal and confidential, level 3 clearance required. CDC confirmation pending. Melting Arctic ice possible origin point for release of the L1V1 virus. Virus triggering dormant genes from junk DNA, genes that once created vampires. Infection rate currently low, but reports from major populations worldwide continue to come in. Without methods of containment, looking at a global pandemic of epic proportion. Characteristics of transformation vary and appear regionally based. Common theme appears to be unnatural and unstoppable hunger. They are here. They hide among us. They hunt us. They feed on us. They are us. End transmission. Basically, that's what we're getting. We're getting a crew of militants dealing with a zombie outbreak, or a vampire outbreak. Vampire zombies. It's all happening here. It's basically some interesting characters that we're coming across in here. Uh, it looks like a fun vampire story. I want to get into this. I know I have a Vampire Wars. I have the trade. I just have yet to read it. So after this little teaser, I'm definitely going to jump in it. But yeah, you get basically the start of the outbreak and get to see what happens with characters turning into vampires, and it's, I want to say it's like vampiric zombies. I mean, the way they act like a combination of zombies and vampires more than just vampires. The way they mutilate people and eat them up. So definitely a lot of fun. So we will be checking out that trade eventually once I come across it again in my stacks, and I can sit down and read it. I also did. Why is that all falling out? Okay. I also did a Kickstarter for Ryan Brown. Before that, I did pick up Plants vs. Zombies, Multiple-tastic book. The wife found them in a bargain bin, and I'm like, yeah, I'll check out one. Didn't want to pick them all up, or she got some deal on them. I figured I'd check them out, but yeah, this was fun. I'd definitely read more of these. Uh, this is Plants vs. Zombies, Multiple-tastic, done by Juvenile Fiction. Paul Tobin, Christian Guillermo Godreau, Heather Breckel, Steve Dutro, Christiane Guillenardo Godreau, Will Flora and Sunflower and Neighborville's plant platoon hit a triple bonus combo, or will their efforts ride the outlanes to certain loss? Plunge into another battle between plants and zombies as Dr. Zomboss turns the entirety of Neighborville into a giant, fully functional pinball machine, with bumpers, flippers, and pegs meticulously scattered across town by the zombie leader and pinball wizard himself. Nate, Patrice, and their plant posse must find a way to revert Neighborville to its normal state and halt this uniquely horrifying zombie invasion. With every ball and bumper set against them, will they hit a run of zombie knockout skill shots, or will the battle go full tilt zombie overload? Eisner Award-winning writer Paul Tobin collaborates with artists. I mentioned who did it, but yeah, it's basically a giant pinball world, and they gotta save stuff before all this stuff gets spelled out. All the bumpers get hit, and it was fun. And just a ton of variety of characters from the Plants vs. Zombies world. Get to see them in a whole new light, and it's just, I liked it a lot. It was a quick read, but I will definitely check it out again. The other ones that the wife came across and stuff, I'll see where she found those. And maybe pick those up then eventually. All right, my Kickstarter for God Hates Astronauts Again. Got a sticker that was in one of these books, and the old Cabbage Patch. No, not Cabbage Patch, but the old goofy, fun parody cards. And this one's Hard Luck Harry. But yeah, those were in one of these books that I picked up. But we got, hey, it's the return of Ryan Brown's extremely popular art book by 3D Cowboy Comics, Little Bobby Big Boat's Burnt Knuckle Sand Wedge. A collection of Ryan Brown's drawings that will make you exclaim, huh, guess I shouldn't have bought this. This is volume 32. Welcome to Drawings. I hope that was what you were expecting. Refunds will only be given in store credit. And it's just, they have so many great art pictures throughout this. Teasers of different parodies on lots of different stories, cartoons, superheroes, everything we know and love. And we got Spider-Man, Star Wars, Toxic Avenger. We get a lot of great ones throughout these. Yeah. Silver Surfer parody. Got the Ryan Brown characters parodied into thing, and there's just a Pika horse. They're just, I love the little, Mario Brothers play in here, and you just Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Garfield, and there is just so much. Galactus. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Well worth it. I know he gives himself shit, but these art books, I want them all, but I don't know. It says volume 32. Who knows how many there are out there? A lot of them are not in print anymore, so finding them is going to be rough. And then the last one I got is Trashy Garbage and Garbagey Trash, Ryan Brown's big old sketchbook of dumb crap. Like, another great sketchbook. Again, with a lot of parodied stuff. Oh, we got Man Thing in there. We got Hellboy. Star Wars, we got Mario, Transformers, Ghostbusters, Punisher, uh, more Silver Surfer, Jason, Fantastic Four, The Tick, all the different Thors. This is awesome. I just Deadpool, Simpsons, Popeye, Space Ghost. There's so much in here. Weird Al Yankovic. My Bologna. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a sketchbook if you're into artwork. It's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting more in the future. But yeah, I took a deep dive on his Ryan Brown's website, and I've been finding all kinds of fun goodies in there. And I think I will have to place one more order there pretty soon. But I'm waiting for him to have another special deal on something or come out with a certain piece of artwork that I want. And then I'll jump in there. But for now, that was things I picked up through a Kickstarter, and I'm glad I did. There were a couple that I passed on. I'm bummed I did. I will have to hopefully get those in the future. But yeah, that's it for now. Keep following Under the Color of the Mess. Rate, review, tell a friend. Give us a thumbs up. Help us out. Help us get our socials going so we can get some recognition. Otherwise, we're going to have to jump on the Patreon and start charging you money. Yeah, we're going to probably do that anyways. But yeah, that's it for today. Also, check out Crimson Color Comic Club, and we'll get back to you again soon.